Okay, so these little nugget, what should I call them? Little nugget, one of a kind, Guatemalan style, probably Guatemalan hybrid, Mexican hybrid, avocados I picked from San Luis Obispo down at the restaurant and hotel. Well, they're all ripening up now. It's about a week later. And if you missed that video, I will put it down at the bottom. I always say this and forget to do it, but I'll do it this time. At the bottom in the description box. Yeah, so anyway, we're gonna have a little taste test. I'm gonna show you how I manage these avocados. So first of all, it's gonna be really easy avocado to find. I showed you how to get to it. Sometimes if I find a really, really amazing one, especially if it's in someone's private yard, I don't reveal its location to respect their privacy and also to kind of hold that tree at bay so I can propagate it and be the only one that has it. Ha! Evil plan, right? Anyway, but this one is not so special that I have to do that. But it's a cool avocado, so we'll do the weigh-in. The smallest ones, this little guy here, he's weighing approximately 6 ounces. So that's, pretty small. The biggest one here is like it looks like it's a 9-ouncer. So so it's not big by any means. It's actually slightly small, it seems like. But my guess is they're going to be rich and tasty. So, all right, I got them all out here. I obviously want to eat the ripest one first. You know how avocados work. I hope you do. If you don't know, you're looking for an avocado that would be like a peach or almost like a pear, where you can push your finger in it. This is really annoying to people that own the stores. This one's pretty ripe. Because everybody wants to, put indentations in their fruit, which makes them harder to sell. So I am going to say that, this one's right too. Which one's better? I'm gonna go with this one right here. All right, so let's cut this thing open, which is a challenge with, only 2 hands. So I'm gonna turn the camera off and cut it open for you. Okay, there she is. As you can see, the seed is rather large compared to the amount of fruit. So that's one of the things that, the industry is looking for if you're going to ever contemplate replacing a Haas. This is probably a Haas seedling. It's got a similar skin. Skin's very similar to Haas, but obviously it has a more rounded shape. Like this one's pretty round. This one is slightly oblong. Of course, Haas is much more oblong. And the seed's pretty big. And now we're gonna see how it peels. Where is my assistant when I need her? Okay. And I'll set the camera up. Okay, any tripod will do, and today's tripod will consist of a Red Bull and one of the avocados. Ooh, there, how's that? Okay, here we go. Here's our avocado. We're gonna see how well it peels, which is a big deal. Haas peels okay. There are others that just peel, the whole thing peels right off. One of the best peelers I've ever seen is the avocado called Big Stuff that I'm gonna be developing, and the whole thing peels off. So the skin, basically it's 2 things. It's like whether it adheres to the fruit right there, and also whether the skin is structural enough to pull off without tearing in one piece, which makes avocado labor preparation much lower, and therefore you can get fatter quicker that way. Anyway, so we'll see. It looks like it's starting to, it's kind of like a Haas in that it's tearing. It does separate well, but the skin is not that thick. It's just kind of thick. The thicker the skin, the easier it is to make guacamole because you can scoop it out better. But if you could take the whole skin off, boom, you just throw it in the bowl and start mashing it up. You don't have to scoop it. But anyway, it peels okay. That's one of the things you look for in the evaluation of avocado.
I'm gonna guess this avocado is a richer type. You can just see it has this just real oil. You can see all the oil. See the oil sheen? It's like an oil spill, like the Exxon Valdez or something. That means it's going to be rich. And you see how it's breaking here. It's a rather dry avocado. See that? Like a wet avocado would be more like a bacon, where it didn't fracture like that with that kind of texture. It would be just more smooth and mushy. So this looks like it's going to be a structural avocado. And yeah. Good though. It's rich. It's real rich. It's dense. I tell people, tasting avocados is the best way I can describe about the richness of the avocado. It's like the same idea when you get chocolate cake. Sometimes you get a big piece of chocolate cake that's really light and fluffy. You can eat a lot of it. Put it on your vanilla ice cream. It goes a long way. Or no, it doesn't go a long way. You need a lot of it. Then there's that really dense chocolate cake that like they give you at really fine restaurants, and it's like just a tiny little piece, but you go to eat it, and it's like so rich that you can only eat little small bitefuls. Sometimes you can't even finish it, even though it's only this big. So this avocado is like the small, rich chocolate in the sense that it is really packed with calories, I'm sure, because of the oil, and a super dense taste. But this is a good avocado for guacamole in the sense that it's gonna structurally hold up and not turn to mush, like chunks, like chunky guacamole. So that's something to keep in mind with avocados. And what else is there to say about this thing? There's not a lot of fruit, but there's a decent amount. And let's teach you guys about how to manage ripe avocados.
Okay, so you've got all your avocados lined up, right? They're on your counter, and pretty much everybody knows. And if you don't know, now you know. You need to put them on your counter to ripen up so they get soft so you can eat them, because an avocado is never going to ripen on the tree. It will fall off the tree before it gets soft to eat. It'll lay on the ground, it'll ripen on the ground, or on your counter, preferably on your counter where the rats and the mice and all the ants won't get it. But that shouldn't stop you, because it doesn't stop me. Just cut that piece off, whatever they ate, and you eat the rest. That's how I roll. Anyway, it's a shame to let a single avocado go to waste. But assuming you did the right thing, got the avocados in your counter where all of the critters won't get them, you'll have these really pristine avocados without rat bites in them. So then you can rest assured that you won't pick up the plague when you eat your avocado. But anyway, they're so good that it's almost worth risking your life for that. But anyway, so let's see. Without digressing any further, let's talk about how to manage your avocados. So the way I do it, and it's kind of a sensual thing. How should I put it? I don't want to violate the avocado's sort of personal space, but I do anyway. And so every day I walk up and I sort of kind of caress them to see how soft they are. Like, this one's pretty hard. I'll put it on the hard side. This one's a little softer, but still pretty hard. That one's real hard. Leave it in the back. This one's soft. So the soft ones you kind of move to the front. That one's real hard. Ooh, this one's soft. Hard. Hard. Semi-soft. Real soft. The ones that are real soft, you'll start finding that they get shrunken and they start looking ugly. That's a sign of one that really needs to be eaten. Also, this variety, I forgot to mention, it's like not the prettiest variety, because a pretty avocado would be something, like that, right? Well, a lot of these avocados on this particular tree, this is sort of a Guatemalan trait, get this alligator effect. I used to call these alligator pears, so you can see why. It's like a pear crossed with an alligator. Anyway, so that's one thing to say about this avocado. But you basically sort all of your avocados and you get them in order of ripeness so you can just grab them as you go without feeling out every single avocado every time, unless, you're into that. It could be. I kind of am. But there. Yeah, so these are my ripest ones. Probably these 4 out here. And of course the one I'm eating now. So But what do you do? What do you do when all of a sudden they're all ripening at once? Well, the obvious thing to do is to buy some onion, cilantro, maybe even tomato, hot sauce, and some lime, and some garlic, and do the obvious. Make a bunch of guacamole, call your friends up, get a bunch of beer, and just have a guacamole party. That's probably the best thing to do. But, you know, if you're a little afraid that your friends might be coughing on you and giving you a virus and stuff like that, which is totally founded these days, at least for the immediate future, then it's hard to have a virtual guacamole party. So you might say, okay, well, I'll just make a little guacamole for me, and you'll have avocados left over. What do you do with them? Otherwise, they're going to go to mush. So what you do with these things, once they're ripe, you go and you get your bowl, preferably a beautiful, colorful bowl, and you can leave some on your counter, like maybe the hardest ones, but the medium ripe ones, put those in the bottom of your bowl, just like so. And then your ripest ones, you're gonna put those on the top of your bowl. Maybe I'll eat that one right there because it won't fit. Then you take said bowl and you walk over to your refrigerator, like this one here, and you open it and you find some room and you put it in your refrigerator. And those avocados stored like that will be, they'll be good for, like, I don't know, how long? How long do you think Puff will? Maybe probably I think like a month. What do you think? A month? Excuse me. Puff Lump, how long will the avocados last for? He said that's capped for 1 month. So anyway, they'll last a month in there. So now what's cool about that? Now, if you have several varieties of trees at your house, and some are early ripening, mid ripening, late ripening, you know, you can get avocados all year. Come talk to me, I can do that for you. But suppose you have my bacons won't be ripe until February, but my little avocados I'm picking those in November. It takes them a week and a half to ripen. And then you can put them in the fridge. So that gets you all the way until maybe the end of January. So it almost bridges the gap. So so that's a way of extending your avocado season. If you have a hole in your production throughout the year, you can, if you manage it well, you can bridge that hole. So I'm going to put a couple links in the bottom, because I talked about this Morro Rock avocado, which is really cool. I'll put a link to the original video for that. And then I will also put a link for, I think I mentioned Big Stuff Avocado. I'll put a link there. And then you'll know what I'm talking about. And I've been marveling at this beautiful lighting here. I'll leave you with this scene of paradise out the window right there. 20 years in the making.